And welcome back to the Ouachita Sports Digital Network. I'm Isaac Bourne, joined once again by Phil Bird, and we're back for the second half of this doubleheader. Earlier we saw women's basketball take on Northwestern Oklahoma State, and now it is time for the men's basketball team to take on the same school. And thank you once again for joining us. We are still shining here in Bill Vining as looking at both of these squads now. We saw that last game come down to the wire. And Phil, what do you see out of this contest looking at these records for both of these schools?
Well, looking at the Northwestern Oklahoma State Rangers, they are 6-6 overall, 3-3 in conference. These teams have an identical record in conference, despite the Tigers having a better overall record. And also looking at the last two games that these teams played, the Tigers getting a win versus Arkansas Tech. Meanwhile, Northwestern Oklahoma getting a loss at Oklahoma Baptist in Shawnee. It's important to note, though, in that game, Cameron McDowell, the leading scorer for the Rangers, was serving a one-game suspension. He will be back in this contest today, so it may be a bit of a different story here today. Overall this season, the Rangers have somewhat struggled to take care of the ball. They had 6 turnovers in that game against Northwestern Oklahoma State. However, the Tigers have just been dominant on every statistic possible. They have the most points per game in the conference at 88. Northwestern Oklahoma State allows the second most opposing points in the conference at 80.8. OBU is the best shooting in the conference, 50% from the field, 41% from three. They are, time and again, some of the best statistics in the conference from this Tigers team.
And what you just saw there, the player comparison between those top two players, obviously, Phil, you talked about Cameron McDowell being the man for Northwestern. But looking on the men's side, you've got the man himself, Hobart Grayson, having himself a season. The transfer out of Holmes has had himself a year that many players in the GAC envy. 24.8 points a game, 11 rebounds per game, and this dude has won himself 6, count it 6 Players of the Week, either defensive or offensive. On both sides of the ball, this guy makes an impact, and tonight hoping to do the exact same thing. Meanwhile, Northwestern Oklahoma State is led by Cameron McDowell. You talked about him serving that suspension last game, and they really missed him in that loss, but those 24.9 points per game in the GAC, something not to scoff at whatsoever.
Absolutely, but Hobart Grayson, like we've said time and time again, great offensively, great defensively, 1.8 steals per game on the season. This is somebody who you expect to see on both sides of the court just absolutely dominating. Also, important to note, he's shooting 52% from the field. He is efficient, he's consistent, he is the standard for this conference, and he's really demonstrating it time and time again.
And looking at both of these teams really quickly, the top 3 scorers per game in the GAC all stepping on this court tonight. So going to be a high-scoring, fun game to watch. But first, the starting lineups.
Your Ouachita Tigers! And now introducing the starting lineup for the Northwestern Oklahoma Rangers. Senior from San Antonio, Texas, number 0, Deron Clark. Sophomore from McPherson, Texas, number 1, Max Alexander. Junior from Griffin, Georgia, number 3, Cameron McDowell. Sophomore from Alva, Oklahoma, number 11, Jackson Feely, and junior from Justin, Texas, Kabea Shibangu. The head coach of the Rangers is Robbie Harmon. The assistant coach is Cody Henson. And now, Tiger Nation, let me hear you roar! This is the starting lineup for your Ouachita Tigers! Junior guard from Houston, Texas, number 2, P.J. Neal. Junior forward from Gonzales, Louisiana, number 5, Hobart Grayson. Senior center from Jonesboro, Louisiana, number 1, Rollin Belton. Senior guard from Vivian, Louisiana, number 3, Reggie Martin. And graduate guard from St. Louis, Missouri, number 22, Sean Williams. The head coach of the Ouachita Tigers is Dennis Nutt. The assistant coaches are Levin Thornton and Richard Stringfield. This afternoon's officials are Reginald Johnson, Brandon Spurlock, and Corey Lawson.
And Phil, here we go. I actually misspoke earlier when I said the top 3 scorers in this conference are all playing on the court tonight. I was right about that, but I also forgot the top 4 scorers in this conference are stepping on the court tonight. And Phil, it's going to be a game to watch, and while obviously you want to see some high scoring, another thing that you want to see for both of these teams is health. And so while you're seeing a little bit different of a starting lineup for both of these squads, one thing you're seeing differently is Rollin Belton starting at the head forward position. And tip-off goes to Ouachita, and P.J. Neal is going to start the game with the ball. Passing it around, here's Grayson. He's got himself a mismatch. And Hobart Grayson knows exactly what to do with it. He has a little spin and puts it up and in.
Spin and puts it up and in. I like that. Seeing Hobart Grayson there, you know, as we've talked about him all game. He is just a symbol of consistency, playing extremely well in the post. I'm super excited to see how he matches up today.
Cameron McDowell in the corner. Clark. McDowell, step back 3 from the corner, and that one rolls out. Hobart Grayson, that's 1 rebound, but most likely many more to come for him. Here's Sean Williams. Grayson, he's got the ball again. Looks inside to Williams. Steps out for 3, no good. And that one goes off Belton, and it's back towards Northwestern. Hobart Grayson had himself a good look on a 3 there, but it can't go.
I'm kind of confused by that play there for a second. I don't know how Sean Williams got a hold of that ball. He wrapped his arms around the other guy and somehow caught the pass and threw it back. That was just talent. I don't care if there was no score there. That was impressive.
Channeling a bit of David Tyree for the New York Giants there. And the slam by Kabaya Shibangu. Hobart Grayson, handoff to Martin. Belton, he's going to pull up from mid-range, and he knocks it down. Ouachita takes the lead right back.
Rollin Belton standing at 6'8", clearly a talented player in the paint, but as we just saw there, he knows how to shoot down. He knows how to shoot. He can make shots from anywhere on the court. He could be the key to the Tigers putting this one.
And the 3 from McDowell is no good, rebounded by Neal. P.J. Neal running it down the court. Sean Williams. He's stopped in the post, and steal by Alexander. Raiders running it the other way. And that's a foul. And McDowell's going to step to the line and take his first free throws in a good while. McDowell, you can see visibly excited to be on the court, and he has definitely taken himself many shots. And so far, no points in this one, but hoping to get 2 here. First one is good for Cameron McDowell. And Phil, this dude has been around the country. He's here at Northwestern now, but before that he's spent stints at Jacksonville State of Conference USA and then the Georgia Bulldogs of the Southeastern Conference.
Truly a great player, and what we just saw there, his first 22 points in about a month here on Bill Vining Arena's court. Truly a great player. I'm excited to see how he manages to play this game.
And that one tipped out of bounds by Deron Clark. Going to stay in possession of the Tigers. This game knotted up at 4 apiece right now. Neal looking for either Grayson or Williams. And Reggie Martin runs right through Deron Clark, and he's going to draw the charge. That's Martin's first foul of the game, and that's going to be his team's first foul.
Bit disappointing to see a charge there from Reggie Martin, but Reggie Martin has truly been sort of a great third option here for this team. Obviously, you have Hobart Grayson, my apologies, and Sean Williams. But Reggie Martin, last game having 16 points, 7 rebounds, 2 steals, and a block. You know, when other players aren't doing as well, Reggie Martin steps up.
And Hobart Grayson takes it coast to coast. That one rattles out for him. McDowell pulls up from deep, and that one goes through the net. Cameron McDowell, that's going to be his first field goal of the game, and he's going to find it from beyond the arc. Sean Williams the drive, and Northwestern whistled for the foul, and Williams is going to shoot the first free throws of the game for his team.
Williams, one of the most efficient players for the Tigers. He may not be leading in points, but he is shooting 49% from the field this season and 46% from 3. In addition to being fairly accurate from the free throw line, he is truly one of the most efficient players on this team.
And while the Rangers have their guy that's been around the country in Cameron McDowell, the Tigers have themselves a guy like Sean Williams, a guy who's also seen a good bit of the U.S. in college as well. He spent a stint at CSU Bakersfield out in Bakersfield, California, and then before that spent some time at Power 5 Kansas State. So 2 players on this team with a good bit of Division I experience, or 2 players in this game with a good bit of Division I experience now. Devin Franklin, he's in the game for the first time today. And then for Northwestern, Logan Phillips seeing his first bit of the court so far. And that one swatted out of bounds by Grayson. It's going to stay Northwestern possession. But for now, we're going to take a quick break. The Rangers lead 7-5 with just over 4 minutes elapsed in this one here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
I'm attorney Taylor King. For years, you've heard us say we'll be on your side, by your side.
I'm attorney Austin King. At Taylor King Law, we stand by that promise.
And I'm attorney Maggie King Davis. I'm proud to be a part of a team of dedicated professionals who are prepared
to be on your side and by your side when you need us most.
If you've been injured, contact the Taylor King Law Firm.
And we, and more, will be on your side, by your side.
I've heard people say Ouachita.
Ouachita.
Achita.
Ouachita.
Is it pronounced Ouachita?
Searching for Ouachita Baptist University.
Back in Texas, everybody pronounces it Wichita, but really, it's Ouachita.
Ouachita. Ouachita.
How would you pronounce it?
Ouachita.
Ouachita.
It's Ouachita Baptist University. Get it right.
It's Ouachita, people. It's Ouachita.
Ouachita.
And we're back from the U16 media timeout here at Bill Vining Arena. Ouachita trails 7-5 to the Rangers of Northwestern Oklahoma State. And so far, Ouachita holding strong in this one.
Clearly it's early in this game, but it is important to note in the last about 2.5 minutes, Northwestern Oklahoma State has been on a 5-1 run, outscoring the Tigers consistently.
And they're going to throw that one behind half court, and it's going to be an over and back. A quick turnover for the Rangers.
I believe it's a front and back. Had he not touched the ball before it went backcourt, it would have just been a regular possession. Bit of a mistake there from the Rangers.
Washita moving fast here in the half court. Williams, he's looking for some dribble penetration. Step back. And he can't even touch the rim on that one. Might have gotten tipped.
Bit of a rarity to see a air ball from Sean Williams. He shoots 46% from 3 this season.
And the floater no good. And back the other way. Sean Williams hanging in midair. Wanted the foul, but no whistle blown.
Clear frustration on Williams' face. He had to go through a lot of contact for that. Clearly he wanted a foul.
And here's Deeran Bihire. And the mid-air pass is offline. PJ Neal running the court now. Pass out to Franklin, and Devin Franklin misses all of it, but Hobart Grayson's there to corral the offensive rebound. Grayson on the drive, and he's going to be fouled. They're going to call the blocking foul on Max Alexander. That's Alexander's first foul of the game, and that's going to be on the floor. Substitutions for both teams. Washita subbing in Gavin Snyder and number 4, MJ Leslie. And then number 24 for the Rangers, Kenyon Holcomb, is going to see his first time on the court today.
It's important to note, Tigers have shot 3 threes so far today. They have not made a single one. Bit of a rarity for the Tigers, who are normally extremely efficient from beyond the arc. It'll be interesting to see how they adapt.
Reggie Martin, a little bit of trickeration on that one. Gets the mid-range shot to fall.
I believe that's what the youngsters like to call shake and bake.
I believe, Phil, that's a bit of channeling some 90s there still, but nevertheless, Devin Franklin with the rebound, and Washita's on the break. Martin now, he's got it on the left side. Into Franklin, good defense by Max Alexander to bat it away, and that one looks like it was last touched by Franklin. That'll be a turnover for the Tigers. And with this game tied at 7, another substitution. Alexander subbing out and coming in for the first time today. That'll be redshirt sophomore Justin Norris. Norris, another D1 transfer for this Rangers team. He comes from McNeese State down in Lake Charles.
Neither team playing exceptionally well offensively so far this quarter. Defensively, though, the Rangers have clearly stood out, and it has given them quite the advantage here.
Snyder pass to Grayson. Grayson pull up, and that one misses everything. Out of bounds on the Rangers. Washita will maintain possession. And Phil, I feel like I almost spoke it out of existence. Starting this game, we talked about how this is going to be a high-scoring affair with so many good scorers on both teams. And so far in this one, we really haven't seen too much offense. It's really just been a good bit of defense. Neither team really able to get good runs so far.
Yeah, really defensively, both teams have played very well, though. Honestly, as we see Gavin Snyder there, and as I was about to say, off the bench, especially for this Tigers, they really have, that's been where a lot of the passion and flair has come from for the Tigers.
And Snyder going to head to the line for the first time today. And I mean, like you said, Phil, a lot of this game has just been good defense combined with some sloppy plays so far. And I mean, that's exactly what we saw at the first half of this doubleheader as well. Both teams kind of feeling each other out before just exploding later in the game after a good offensive onslaught. But neither team hitting double digits so far as Snyder laces both of them from the line.
Well, I hope to see a game similar to what we saw in that first part of this doubleheader. We saw Tigers win, albeit by only 3. Hopefully, we'll see a repeat of that today.
Holcomb, he's got the ball. Norris to McDowell. He's guarded by Gavin Snyder. Tigers playing good defense so far. McDowell driving right side. And Snyder thought he had the strip, but they're going to say McDowell was fouled, and he's got 2 shots from the free throw line. Those will be 3 and 4 for him today.
You hate to see a foul there from Gavin Snyder, but the 5'11 guard out of Little Rock, he actually went to Little Rock Central School. I had the pleasure of walking the halls up for a little bit. Truly a great player, and you see a little bit, he's a little shorter than the rest of the squad. He's a lot more physical, though. He's able to use his body. Sadly, it ended in a foul there, but great defense from him. I hope we get to see quite a bit of him this matchup.
And subbing out for the Rangers, Kenyon Holcomb, and coming in for him is Kabaya Shibengu. Now you see the Rangers implementing a bit of a full court press as the Tigers bring it down the court. This game still not very high scoring, 9 apiece for both teams. Handoff to Martin. Reggie Martin into Grayson, and Hobart put it down, big fella.
And as we've seen here, Rangers taking a bit of a zone defense here. And the dangers of the zone defense we just saw right there. The Tigers had good passing. They got the ball around, great ball movement, and they managed to take advantage of the holes in the zone that the Rangers created.
And that shot from Norris, no good. It's going to go out of bounds. And that'll be the U12 media timeout. Ouachita holding on to a short 11-9 lead as we send it to break here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network, presented by Taylor King Law.
Owned by OBU alumni, Java Primo is the official coffee house of Ouachita Tiger football. At Java Primo, amazing coffee is just the beginning. Try our great options at breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and don't forget about our amazing desserts. Also, shop Java Primo's gift selection 24/7 online at javaprimo.com.
Go Tigers! Go Tigers!
I'm Rex Horn, the Interim Executive Director of the Arkansas Baptist State Convention, and today I'm joined by my friend Dylan, who's an attorney with the Arkansas Baptist Foundation, with an important word for you.
The foundation is here to help you support your Ouachita Tigers. If you'd like to create an estate plan that supports Ouachita and its mission, or learn about other giving opportunities, please contact us using the information below.
And as you see, the city of Arkadelphia right now blanketed in some snow. It is cold outside, but for both teams, a cold shooting night as well. Ouachita 4 for 10 from the field. Meanwhile, Northwestern Oklahoma State 2 for 9. Phil, what have you seen on the defensive side that's really made that a big part of this game?
Well, great defensive play from both teams, forcing shots that are not favorable to either team. Surprisingly enough, the Tigers somewhat struggling from beyond the arc here, have not made a single shot from the three-point line here tonight. So normally one of the most efficient teams from beyond the arc, but not tonight. And that's really a credit to the Rangers defense. They are able to force shots that just do not look good. They're contested. They just cannot make them. And so the Rangers are doing a good job of forcing shots that just can't go in for the Tigers.
And as Grayson heads to the line, missing his first, you look at Northwestern, their scoring has come from just 2 players tonight. Cameron McDowell, he's got 7 of his team's 9. And then Kabea Shibengu has 2 on 1 for 1 from the field. It really has just been a one-man show from the team out of Alva, Oklahoma.
And surprisingly enough, only 2 field goals in the entire game for the Rangers so far. 4 of their points coming from the free throw line.
Grayson goes 1 of 2 there, and that will make the Ouachita lead 3. Here are the Rangers. Clark gets it to Alexander. Alexander drive on Snyder and somehow gets the layup to go.
Looked like Alexander wanted a foul called from the referee.
Pass out to Leslie. Sean Williams. Devin Franklin, he's going to take another corner three. That time, it's all green. Devin Franklin puts himself on the board tonight with a shot from deep.
And that's the Tigers' first shot from deep. Let's see if that can start some momentum.
Cameron McDowell, the drive on Grayson, and the follow by Shibangu, no good. Sean Williams here. Gets it to go, and one more at the line. Sean Williams.
I almost stood up from my chair there. I got excited. I thought Williams was going to dunk that right on his head. I'll settle for the layup and the free throw, but truly some athletic play there, just demonstrating why Sean Williams was at the D1 level and why he is dominating here at Ouachita.
Sean Williams, the 4th highest per game scorer in the Great American Conference this season. The only players above him are all on the court at this moment. So, other than Hobart Grayson, who is taking a rest on the bench right now. But, I mean, just what you've seen from these players this season, you'd expect a little bit more out of the productivity we're getting this afternoon.
Well, you know, some people say defense is boring, but I think both teams have been playing some beautiful defense so far today, and it's really showing.
Snyder, nice block, but it's going to produce the three for Jackson Feely. The hometown boy out of Alva, Oklahoma, is going to get himself his first points today in Arkadelphia. And Devin Franklin hanging in midair, can't get it to go. McDowell, he's guarded by Flowers. And that one's going to be called a foul on Ouachita, going to stay with Northwestern.
I believe it's a kick ball violation. It's going to reset the shot clock there.
Referee signaled with a bit of an odd signal by the referee, but nevertheless, Northwestern ball. Cameron McDowell's trapped in the corner. The skip pass, Alexander.
Great job on McDowell there. He was trapped, but he still managed to find the open player.
Shibangu can't get it to go. I got to remind you, Gavin Snyder's 5'11", and Shibangu is 6'9", and Gavin Snyder just played defense like he was 6'8".
Well, I think that can regularly be said for Gavin Snyder. He may be what he lacks in stature, he makes up in heart.
And Snyder sure does have that, getting a 4-point play to tie the game up against Southern Arkansas in this building just around a month ago. And against this team, last time these two teams played, Snyder did exactly the same to send it to overtime.
We see McDowell wishing there was no foul called on that play. He makes a three after the foul is called. Does not count, but nonetheless.
Substitutions for Ouachita. PJ Leslie is coming in. Excuse me, PJ Neal. Looking at MJ Leslie while saying that. Takes it inside, and no good by Bihare. Neal finds Grayson. Grayson looking for something, and he's just going to turn it over there. Sean Williams, though, active hands.
We've seen a bit of slow play from Hobart Grayson here tonight. 2 for 6 so far in the night. A bit behind the pace, but nonetheless, he manages to continue on this game. The Tigers still manage to have a lead.
And right there, you see heading to the ground and drawing the foul is Cameron McDowell, and really he has made the biggest impact for this Northwestern team. While he is 1 for 4 from the field, he's gotten 4 points from the line, hoping to get 5 and possibly 6 here. And he makes the first one.
Somehow it turns out the broadcaster's jinx only works on your home team. Or maybe when I say it.
And McDowell lining up for free throw number 6. And he laces it right there. And Cameron McDowell has had a very productive day from the free throw line, 6 for 6. And that's really what's kept his team in this one. They now trail by just 4. Sean Williams in the corner. He's guarded by Dihere. Leslie in the corner. MJ Leslie no good. Hobart Grayson cleans it up, puts it up and in, and he's got one more from the line. Hobart Grayson proving exactly why he is one of the best players in the Great American Conference.
That's what I believe Shaquille O'Neal would call barbecue chicken.
And with that, we're going to take a bit of a barbecue break as Grayson will be shooting a free throw out of that. 8:06 left in the first half. Ouachita leads 22-16. We'll be right back with you on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
Visit the Ouachita campus store for all your Tiger apparel, merchandise, and gifts. If you need something to wear to show your Tiger pride, stop by the Ouachita campus store on the bottom floor of the Evans Student Center to grab a t-shirt, sweatshirt, polo, or more. If you can't stop by the store on campus, visit us online at bookstore.obu.edu. Make your purchase and we'll send it to you. Support the Tigers by checking out the Ouachita campus store. Go Tigers.
And welcome back to the Ouachita Sports Digital Network. That last timeout being a 30-second timeout, and looking at both of these teams right now, Ouachita leading by 6. Head coach Cody Henson visibly irate towards his team right now. Excuse me, assistant coach Cody Henson. Excuse me, head coach Robbie Herman. As Ouachita walks onto the court, Hobart Grayson going to get himself a free throw out of this break, but right now, Coach Herman continues to be angry with his squad. While they do just trail by 6, Phil.
It's definitely an attitude you like to see from a coach. He clearly cares a lot about this game. Clearly wants these players to play to the best of their ability, and he's coming out on the court.
Grayson knocks it down, and that 6-point lead is now 7. And here's Cameron McDowell taking it down the court, guarded by Sean Williams.
Sean Williams, one of the best offensive players in the league, but clearly one of the best defensive players as well.
McDowell, they say he lost it, but they're going to call a foul. McDowell has been very good today at drawing contact and doing it again there.
McDowell has shot all 6 of Northwestern Oklahoma State's free throws so far this game.
And they're going to say that he was in the motion of shooting while being fouled there, and he's going to take 7 and 8 for his free throws today. Cameron McDowell not really needing production from the field to make an impact, as that's his first missed free throw of the game. Still with the chance to make the lead for Ouachita 6 with a make here. And that one is good for Cameron McDowell. He goes 1 of 2 on that time at the line. And now here's P.J. Neal with the ball on the way down the court.
I'll tell you this much. Cameron McDowell with his 8 free throws is more than the Lady Rangers shot the entire game.
And what a play. Some razzle-dazzle from Grayson to Martin. And Reggie Martin is going to complete that alley-oop. And that is enough for head coach Robbie Herman to call a timeout and send this game into a media timeout. Now we'll take a short break as we will be right back with you here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network, presented by Taylor King Law.
I'm Sandra, this is Jorge, and we were adopted in 2019. I remember when they first came to us, Michael was already a teenager. The whole cliche of, they're so lucky to have you guys, and it's the other way around. They have changed our family for the better. They chose to love us. They didn't have to. They chose us. Family.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org.
Mom was always very self-sufficient, but we started noticing things were off.
I was forgetting my responsibilities at work.
I told Mom we should visit a doctor.
Alzheimer's. It was hard to hear that.
Early detection gave us time to seek information and support as a family. I've never felt more connected with Mom.
If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
And a quick start here as Northwestern takes the ball down the court. Alexander trying to get a shot over Neal, and he floats that one in. Max Alexander, that's his second field goal of the night.
Alexander, normally one of the most productive players on the squad, 23.3 points per game in the season. He has just 4, a little under 13 minutes into this first half.
Tigers now looking for some dribble penetration. Neal to the corner. Shot clock winding down, finds Leslie in the corner. No good, follow on the rebound. And they're gonna say that one counted. Goaltending for Northwestern and give the Tigers 2.
I think it's interesting to see the difference in the way these two teams coach. If we look at Coach Dennis Nutt here, truly a very, very calm coach, as he always is, calm and collected, especially in comparison to Coach Herman on the other side of the court. Interesting to see that dynamic there.
Head coach Robbie Harmon channeling a little bit of Bob Knight there, getting visibly irate, continuing to be irate with his team as they continue to let this game slip out of their hands. Alexander, though, says, no way, Jose. I'm going to jump back into this one. That's 6 for him on 3 field goals tonight.
And I'm sure if Harmon is looking at this squad, Alexander is the bright spot he's looking at. He is on quite a run here, scoring quite a bit of this Rangers squad's points in the last few possessions.
And McDowell gets the rebound, and he's going quickly down the court. Alexander and McDowell, the highest scoring duo in the Great American Conference this season. Alexander 3rd in the GAC in points per game. Meanwhile, McDowell 1st in the conference. And he puts that one in the net, and he's going to the line for one more. Cameron McDowell. That's only his 2nd field goal of the game, but this will be his 9th free throw. And a lot of times, Phil, you look at players like that and you think, I mean, why can't he make a lot of field goals? But there is a certain skill that comes with getting to the free throw line.
Yeah, absolutely. He's reminding me a little bit of prime James Harden. If you remember in the 17-18 season, James Harden shot 30 free throws a game, and he averaged 35 points a game. So definitely not bad company to be holding.
Maybe a more recent reminder of that, a player by the name of Joel Embiid. But that shot no good by Martin. Max Alexander running down the court. Back to the hands of McDowell. He's got Gavin Snyder on him. Fader. And they're gonna say he walked. McDowell still got that one to go though, and he thought that he was fouled. That'll be McDowell's second turnover of the outing. And Ouachita, they cling to just a 4-point lead now as the clock ticks below 5 minutes left in this period. Neal, he's got Sean Williams. Gavin Snyder's gonna hoist up a 3. And the leaning shot goes in for him.
And you got to remember the people guarding Gavin Snyder are easily 4 or 5 inches taller than him. It's impressive for anyone to make a contested shot like that. I think it's way more impressive for someone of his stature, just continuously proving all the doubters wrong.
Max Alexander gets the floater to go in, and just you continue to see him play off 2 feet And if we're doing NBA comparisons today, I'd liken him to Jalen Brunson. Just a great player, not exactly one of the taller guys on the court, but somebody that can play off 2 feet well and not use his size as a crutch. Williams, he's got Grayson for 3, and Hobart Grayson lacing it from deep.
Hobart Grayson truly demonstrating his efficiency on all sides of the court. Normally we get to see him in the paint quite a bit, but here we see his ability to make threes is just as strong as his ability to grab boards.
Here's McDowell, top of the key. Switch from Grayson, and that one clings off the right side of the rim, trying to respond to Grayson's earlier 3. Snyder wanted the 3 there, but he's going to hold it. And P.J. Neal instead is going to knock it down. You don't see Neal take many of those, but that time he finds the bottom of the net.
And what we saw there on that play, I think, demonstrates something that's been kind of a trend this season. Sean Williams, who we sort of expected this season to be a shoot-first player, is clearly a pass-first player. That is his second assist in this one. And just phenomenal vision from the graduate guard.
McDowell, shot clock ticking down, cannot get a shot off. That's another turnover for him. And Ouachita, going into the final media timeout of the first half, is rolling. They hold on to a 36-25 lead with 2.5 minutes left in the half. We'll be right back with you here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network, presented by Taylor King Law.
At Berry and Turnage, we specialize in bringing the law to your corner. We are dedicated to understanding what results you want and to helping you understand what actions we can take on your behalf. With over 30 years of experience and a proven track record of success, Berry and Turnage is here to lead you down a path to the results you need. We will work with you every step of the way to make sure that you understand the choices you are making and feel empowered to make them. Berry and Turnage. Serious injuries require serious attorneys.
And we're back here at Bill Vining Arena. 2.5 minutes remaining in the first half of this one, and Ouachita has taken a firm hold of the game so far. They lead 36-25, and that has been in part due to, once again, the heroics of a player that you probably know at this point, Hobart Grayson. He's got 11 and 7 rebounds to boot. The 6'6" forward proving why he is a 6-time GAC Player of the Week winner.
And we talk about how basketball is a game of momentum, and I think this game has demonstrated it very well. We've seen the Tigers go on scoreless streaks of 2 minutes. Now they're on a 9-2 run. The Northwestern Oklahoma State are scoreless for the last 2 minutes. It's just clearly run after run from each of these teams. Very entertaining to watch.
Clark to McDowell. McDowell and Alexander have expectedly been the 2 scorers for this Northwestern team, as Clark's 3 is no good. And P.J. Neal falls to the floor, and Max Alexander, holding his face, took a bit of a blow there from the Ouachita guard. And that one, that foul right there, is going to put Ouachita in the bonus. P.J. Neal now is going to get a shot from the line, and another one if he can get that first one to go.
You love the confidence you see from Neal there. After he had been knocked over after that foul, he kept the ball dribbling on the ground. Kind of like a teasing moment even. You know, you don't want to see bad sportsmanship, but truly great confidence from Neal.
That first free throw is no good, so he won't get the second one. Alexander. McDowell, he's guarded by Gavin Snyder, a player that's really played some solid defense. And that time they're going to call the foul on the floor on Snyder. Just as I compliment his defense, Snyder's going to pick up his second foul of the game. And McDowell is going to head to the line, and he's made himself right at home from the stripe tonight. We've already talked about how many shots he's shot, but he'll be shooting his double-digit free throw now, as he's 7 for 9 from there tonight so far, and make him 8 for 10.
And, you know, they call these free throws, but very, very often they are not free. Most players struggle. So you can say what you want about McDowell shooting a lot of free throws, but he at least knocks them down.
And that time he does exactly that, goes 2 for 2, and that's going to make the Ouachita lead back within single digits. Reggie Martin, he's at the top of the key. Williams driving right, Euro step out to Martin. Pull up from mid-range is good. Reggie Martin knocks it down.
Reggie Martin in the mid-range has been the definition of consistency. Martin is 4 for 5 so far on the night, 8 points.
Shibangu, handoff to McDowell. He's guarded by Sean Williams. Alexander, shot clock ticking down. The three, misses everything, but nice effort there by Phillips to keep it in bounds. Unfortunately, Shibangu does not have his perception of the shot clock. And it's going to be a shot clock violation. Head coach of the Tigers is going to call a timeout. We're going to stay right here for this 30-second timeout and talk. Phil, you see both of these teams right now, and I'm going to be honest, it is a very low-scoring affair for the offense that we've seen produced from both of these sides. But what have you seen from Ouachita that really has given them the advantage despite adversity so far?
Well, I think just what you said, it has to do with facing adversity. The Tigers very clearly have not had an easy run through this game. They've had 8 fouls so far in this first half. They clearly have not had any easy shots, but nonetheless, they have responded to the adversity well. It's demonstrated in Coach Dennis Nutt's reactions to any call he doesn't agree with. He's not banging anything around. He's keeping it calm and collected, and the Tigers are as well.
And now, nice pass by Martin into Grayson, and Hobart Grayson is going to clean that right up.
I'm never not impressed when I see Hobart Grayson underneath the basket. That can look like an easy goal, but he has to do some acrobatics there to get the ball in the net. He always manages to do so.
Here's McDowell, just about 1 second difference between the shot and game clock. Looks like they're going to hold it for the last shot still. McDowell step back over Grayson, no good. And that is going to be the first half. Ouachita heads to the locker room with a solid 40-27 lead. And heading into the break, Hobart Grayson with 13 points, leading the Tigers so far. And we'll be right back with you in a little bit with some halftime stats in just a little bit here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
I've heard people say Ouachita.
Ouachita.
Achita.
Ouachita.
Is it pronounced Ouachita?
Searching for Ouachita Baptist University.
Back in Texas, everybody pronounces it Wichita, but really, it's Ouachita.
Ouachita. Ouachita.
How would you pronounce it?
Ouachita.
Ouachita.
It's Ouachita Baptist University. Get it right.
It's Ouachita, people. It's Ouachita.
Ouachita.
At Capital Technology Group, we make your technology our priority. There are so many threats to IT these days, and we're here to help protect your data and devices. We're also by your side when things simply go wrong, whether it's servers crashing or printers breaking. We cover it all for our clients in all types of businesses. And with over 80 years of history in Arkansas, you can trust Capital Technology Group to be your business technology partner. Sign up for a free consultation at captg.com.
Even the mighty might not see it coming. It's prediabetes, and it captures 1 in 3 adults. But you can escape. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test to know where you stand and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Be your own hero on smartphones everywhere at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight, both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back, because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Baseball for me just kind of was the glue that kept my family together. I feel like I was able to come here and get my triple major, as well as play a super high level of baseball against some of the best players in the country. There's a lot of options here in Division II with a lot of great ball players and a lot of great people, and they make sure that they give you every opportunity to succeed on and off the field.
Ouachita Student Media is a body of 8 publications and media outlets within the Communications Department at Ouachita. I work with the Ouachita News Show and the Signal, which is our school newspaper, and through those I've seen that this student media program, it's a collaborative effort. not only do we serve just the people here and the people around them, but also just the community of Arkadelphia and the broader community of people who have a connection to Ouachita somehow. It's been really easy to make friends within the department because I spend more time in Lyle Hall than I spend in my own dorm room. And that's not because I'm forced to, it's because I choose to. It's because I choose to come here and do the work. When you spend time in a room of people who are creative, people who are determined, and you find those similar qualities, then you'll find friends. And that's the beauty of having a department that's so involved. I've really made friends not only just with the students, but also with my professors, because they've totally helped me develop a portfolio, decide what career path is best for me, and do all of those things that just kind of guiding me through that process and have helped me just decide what my education means going forward, but also what it means while I'm here. Get involved as much as possible on day one because you can. And I think that's something that's unique about Ouachita. As a freshman, you can be as involved as you want. Of course, you're not going to be editor on day one, but you can be on whatever staff you want to be. And just jumping in and trying as much as you can really helps you establish what you want to do within communications. So if you try writing, if you try broadcasting, if you try podcasting, you'll kind of see what's a fit for you, and it'll help you develop just that end goal. Ouachita Student Media has been so fortunate to receive so many awards on the state level and the national level, and it's really cool when you get the feeling of getting one of those awards or seeing one of your friends get those awards, because it just reminds you that the work we do is not in vain and that it matters. It really just affirms that this department is strong and this department is determined, and we're doing the good work by telling the stories of Ouachita.
And welcome back to Bill Vining Arena, but right outside, you see the snow coming down even harder. And here, one thing you're not seeing is the shots coming down even harder. Both teams really having a bit of a hard time getting the cap off the basket, but Ouachita a little bit less difficult of a time. Tigers lead 40-27, and Phil, Hobart Grayson has really been the head of that like he is every night, but just talk about both of these teams and what are you seeing as the catalyst for this Ouachita lead?
Well, you know, the Tigers are staying calm. They're staying cool and collected. They're managing to stay calm even when shots aren't going. For the most part, shots have been going, though, actually. I know it can feel like the Tigers aren't shooting as well as they normally do, but they're shooting 56% from the field, 44% from three. I mean, that was generally a good first half. I mean, the Tigers have a very high standard for efficiency when it comes to shooting. But honestly, if you're just looking at what a team normally does, the Tigers are killing it out there, especially compared to the Rangers. They're shooting 33% from the field and 20% from three. And honestly, you know, the Tigers are out-rebounding the Rangers 19-10. The Tigers are winning into the paint 16-10. The real thing that's keeping any semblance of hope for this Rangers team is Cam McDowell's shots from the charity stripe. He has shot he has made 9 free throws so far in this first half. He shot 11. He was only 2 for 7 from the field. That's below 20%, but he still managed to score 14 points in that first half. Also, Max Alexander, 8 points on 4 for 7 shooting. Not too bad, but generally, most of their points are going to come for the charity stripe there, which is a rarity for a team that scores this high normally. Meanwhile, the Tigers just regularly doing great on every aspect of the field.
Well, one thing you're also seeing that I've really noticed, first of all, interesting stat, Cameron McDowell has taken every single one of the free throws in this game for the Rangers, but the Rangers really focusing on that two-headed monster of McDowell and Alexander. Meanwhile, Ouachita, while they're relying a lot on Grayson to do what he does best, the scoring is a lot more evenly distributed between all the other players. you have Reggie Martin with 8, Sean Williams with 6, Gavin Snyder's got 5, and you've got a plethora of other players that have put their time in and taken their shots. The ball moving around a lot better than the team out of Alva, Oklahoma. Ouachita, 9 assists. A team that can pass the ball really well and look for the next best shot. Meanwhile, you're looking at Northwestern, only 2 assists on all of their shots. You're seeing a lot more player-centric play on that side, and so far the players for the Rangers have really not showed out.
Yeah, and I think it also goes to show, 9 points coming from the charity stripe doesn't seem like that much, but that's a third of their points in this game. Free throws can't be assisted on. I think that's important to remember as well, so that can clearly contribute they only have 2 assists so far in this game. So clearly that can contribute to the lack of sharing the ball and passing around that we're seeing from the Rangers. And, when you have a team that shoots more free throws, that's something that you're going to see, but normally not to this extent. It's going to be interesting to see how the Rangers adjust, try and share the ball more. They might just rely still on Max Alexander and McDowell here. They may decide to go for a different route. It doesn't seem to be working right now. They're down by 13. But it'll be interesting to see if they continue with what they've been doing here.
And sending a little bit of a wave to University President Ben Sells, just thanking him for his service for the university. But right now, we also got to thank Hobart Grayson for his service for this university, as he's got 13 points and 7 rebounds. And Phil, at the beginning of the season, we had the opportunity to talk to Coach Nutt about this team, and one thing that we mentioned with him was that just the rebounding and how we didn't know how this team was going to pick up rebounds, but Hobart Grayson just decided to take that entire mantle upon himself, and tonight he's leading all scorers or all rebounders with 7. Meanwhile, he's very nearly on the tail of Northwestern's team average or team rebounds.
Yeah, he has 7 so far. Northwestern in entirety has 10, and I think it's important to note too, the Tigers, he's not the only one rebounding. He's clearly the best at it. But P.J. Neal with 3 rebounds, Devin Franklin with 3 rebounds, Gavin Snyder, the 5'11" guard with 2 rebounds, which is the max on Northwestern Oklahoma State. This team, we worried about the rebounding earlier in the season. In a game against UA Fort Smith, they were out-rebounded by something like 30 rebounds. But honestly, they're rebounding very, very well, especially for a team whose tallest player is 6'8".
And you mentioned Snyder, too. Gavin Snyder standing at 5'11", but he really doesn't seem like it when he's guarding players in the post and on the perimeter. He's got immense strength, and as a sophomore has really improved on the offensive side of the court and been a really big impact player for this team, and most likely would be starting if it weren't for Sean Williams out there on the court. But Phil, that's all the time we've got for this halftime show, but thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll be right back with you for the second half in just a little bit here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network, presented by Taylor King Law.
I'm attorney Taylor King. For years, you've heard us say we'll be on your side, by your side.
I'm attorney Austin King. At Taylor King Law, we stand by that promise.
And I'm attorney Maggie King Davis. I'm proud to be a part of a team of dedicated professionals who are prepared
to be on your side and by your side when you need us most.
If you've been injured, contact the Taylor King Law Firm.
And we, and more, will be on your side, by your side.
I've heard people say Ouachita.
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 Is it pronounced Ouachita?
Searching for Ouachita Baptist University.
Back in Texas, everybody pronounces it Wichita, but really, it's Ouachita.
Ouachita. Ouachita.
How would you pronounce it?
Ouachita.
Ouachita.
It's Ouachita Baptist University. Get it right.
It's Ouachita, people. It's Ouachita.
Ouachita.
Owned by OBU alumni, Java Primo is the official coffee house of Ouachita Tiger football. At Java Primo, amazing coffee is just the beginning. Try our great options at breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and don't forget about our amazing desserts. Also, shop Java Primo's gift selection 24/7 online at javaprimo.com.
Go Tigers! Go Tigers!
I'm Rex Horn, the Interim Executive Director of the Arkansas Baptist State Convention, and today I'm joined by my friend Dylan, who is an attorney with the Arkansas Baptist Foundation with an important word for you.
The foundation is here to help you support your Ouachita Tigers. If you'd like to create an estate plan that supports Ouachita and its mission or learn about other giving opportunities, please contact us using the information below.
And welcome back to the Ouachita Sports Digital Network presented by Taylor King Law, but also we want to thank another one of our sponsors before the start of this second half. Thank you to Hatcher Agency. Hatcher Agency in Little Rock is the home of outrageous service. The Hatcher Agency gives outrageous service for both commercial and personal lines of insurance, including both property and casualty insurance. Contact the Hatcher Agency today at 501-375-3737 or visit hatcheragency.com. Also, congratulations to Greg Hatcher for his 2025 induction into the Arkansas Sports Hall of Fame. Get your outrageous service at the Hatcher Agency. And we want to thank the Hatcher Agency for sponsoring this network. And now at the start of the second half, taking it out of bounds for the Rangers will be redshirt sophomore Jackson Feely.
One thing we saw from the Rangers in that first half was not very efficient shooting, certainly not very productive. It's going to be interesting to see what changes they have made at the half to try to up that production and get some more shots going here.
And the second half is going to start off with a jump ball, and Ouachita is going to take it right out of the hands of the Rangers with the possession arrow pointing towards them. Martin driving the baseline. He's got Williams open in the corner, and Sean Williams dials it up from deep and finds the answer.
For a man that normally shoots 46% from three, that is only his first made three here tonight. Of course, he is shooting 50%. It's 1 for 2, but took a very long time for him to get on the board from beyond the arc.
And Max Alexander, the speed, able to lay it up and in for his first points of the half. Here's Williams. Looks at Martin in the corner. Dump off to Belton, and he can't get it to go. He wanted a foul. Nevertheless, McDowell's going the other way. Alexander. He's guarded by Grayson. The left-handed floater is all laces. And Max Alexander, he's got all the scores for the Rangers so far. And that's going to be a timeout. Head coach for the Rangers, Robbie Harmon, wants to talk to his team. And you don't need to see him in that huddle to hear the anger in his voice. His team starts off the half. And right now they have come back just a tad bit so far. They only trail by 12 at this point. But Phil, what have you seen from Ouachita to be able to maintain this pretty big lead so far?
Well, we talked about it at the half, calm and collected, but the Tigers maintaining that team chemistry that we talked about in that first half. They have played well together. You saw on that first possession, they managed to force a turnover from the jump ball. They forced the Rangers to play at the Tigers' pace. When you try to force any other team to play at the Tigers' pace, the Tigers are going to beat you on that. They have some of the fastest play of any team in the Great American Conference, and if you let them control the speed of the game, they're going to make you pay.
And speaking of speed, you just saw that play from Max Alexander. He really has been a bright spot in the game for Northwestern. And right there, you just see the really good footwork, almost playing in the post and then getting a little floater over the superior defender, Hobart Grayson. Williams, that one's no good. And that one's rebounded that time by Deron Clark.
And obviously, Cam McDowell, the leading scorer for the Rangers, but I can't shake the feeling that Max Alexander is truly having an impressive game here tonight.
And looks like he just slipped on the drive. And that's enough to call a traveling violation. And that'll be a turnover for Northwestern. That's 8 turnovers for them tonight. Excuse me, that's 7 turnovers for them tonight. Grayson, top of the key. Sean Williams, he's got Grayson on the inside. Excuse me, that was Belton on the inside. Once again, he feels like he wanted a foul, but the Rangers take it the other way. And Clark, that one's in and out. Sean Williams. PJ Neal's going to take another 3, and he's going to find the bottom of the net. PJ Neal, not typically a guy that's going to find himself on the scoreboard too often. He's got 6 tonight.
And both of those points, or both of those shots, come from behind the arc here tonight. He's definitely someone who shoots less, but when he shoots, he sure does shoot well.
McDowell still can't take the lid off the basket from three-point range. Williams tries to split 2 defenders there and nearly does, but he's going to be fouled in the process.
I'm kind of amazed he was able to get that shot up, if I'm being honest with you. Kind of shot it over his head. Still in the shooting motion nonetheless.
Well, it looks like it wasn't in the shooting motion. It'll be on the floor, but Ouachita will take the ball out of bounds. And for those tuning into the game, Phil and I both are students of Ouachita that have come back a little early from Christmas break. But the reason why maybe the fans might be lacking tonight is just because of the fact that a lot of them are still home for the holidays. And so also with the snow being a big factor as well, it's really hard to get your butt in a seat when you can't drive your car. And a little bit of talking over right now. The referees were going to the monitor. Bit of a clock error, and now they're going to take a look at the shot clock. And in this break, we want to talk just a little bit about this game. So far, Hobart Grayson scoreless in this half, still sitting at 13 points. But, I mean, this Ouachita team, they lead by 17 now. They've expanded that 13-point halftime lead by 4 points, and that really has just been behind a whole team effort. Sean Williams, he's picked up himself 3 points in the period. Reggie Martin's got himself a bucket. It's just been all around the court. Just effort from all these teams. If you're looking at some trends tonight, Ouachita on a 5-0 run, and they've made 5 of their last 6 3-pointers, contrary to Northwestern, where they've only made 1 of their last 9 shots from deep. Referees looking to correct a clock issue. And so now the referee is going to put 16:31 on the game clock, 21 on the shot clock, and with all things situated, play can resume. Alexander has the ball. Skip pass. And McDowell finds a way to get fouled once again. And now Northwestern still maintains the possession. Alexander gets it to go down low, and Max Alexander has really come alive in this half. Unfortunately, no one else on his team has, as they still trail by 15 in this contest.
Yeah, and in this first, a little over 4 minutes into this half, the main scorer in that first half, Cam McDowell, has not been able to get to the line at all. And while that's where most of his points have been coming from, that does mean he has not been able to put any points on the board at all this half.
And Kabeya Shibengu is able to find himself a hook shot there and put himself on the board this half. Sean Williams, step back three, no good.
It's rare you see Williams force a three there. This team needs to get something going, though.
Deron Clark, no good on the three. Washita the other way. P.J. Neal, he's got some room. Hanging in midair, P.J. Neal.
A player we don't normally see scoring as much as he is. P.J. Neal reaching deep into his bag and showing us his repertoire here tonight. Manages to get some from beyond the arc, and now showing us those acrobatic moves in the paint.
And McDowell gets that one to go. Sean Williams, razzle dazzle, and finds Reggie Martin in the corner for three.
Sean Williams and Reggie Martin. You know, we talk a lot about the Hobart Grace and Sean Williams duo, but Reggie Martin at that third option really is a standout for this Tigers team, and a lot of times he can be the difference maker.
And McDowell just not paying attention to where his feet were there, and that's going to be his fourth turnover of the outing, and that's going to send us to our first break of the second half. Washita leading 53-37 here on the Washita Sports Digital Network, presented by Taylor King Law.
Visit the Washita campus store for all your Tiger apparel, merchandise, and gifts. If you need something to wear to show your Tiger pride, stop by the Washita campus store on the bottom floor of the Evans Student Center to grab a t-shirt, sweatshirt, polo, or more. If you can't stop by the store on campus, visit us online at bookstore.obu.edu. Make your purchase and we'll send it to you. Support the Tigers by checking out the Washita campus store. Go Tigers.
Make Print Mania in downtown Arkadelphia your place to get embroidery, screen printing, trophies, and more. Drop by their store on Main Street in downtown Arkadelphia or visit their website at printmaniatees.com to see how they can help your business or group. Need a shirt for an event? Let Print Mania take care of that. Need promotional materials for your business or organization? You can let Print Mania take care of that too. A family-run local business in Arkadelphia, Print Mania has been serving the public since 1992. Call Print Mania today, 870-246-3803.
And welcome back after the first break of the second half. Washita leads by 16, 14:22 remaining in the game, and P.J. Neal's going to take it down. Tigers passing it around. Williams cross court to Martin. Franklin pulls up over Phillips. That shot is no good, but he's going to get fouled. That'll send him to the line for two.
You know, say what you want about The score, they're down 16 here, but the Rangers bench has not stopped cheering for their team once during this game. A bit of a bright spot of support here for a struggling Ranger squad.
First free throw is good for Franklin. Devin Franklin has taken a bit of a back seat this season after starting off the year in the starting lineup, but tonight has procured himself 4, and on that missed free throw will stay at 4.
While Rollin Belton managed to get the start here today, should be said, Belton only playing 7 minutes since getting that job in the starting lineup here tonight.
And the missed 3 by McDowell, that'll go out of bounds on Ouachita. It'll stay Northwestern ball. Cameron McDowell just has been unable to find his shot from three-point range today. 1 for 7.
And where McDowell has kind of failed to shine, who has shined for the Rangers, a bright spot in an otherwise dark game as he makes the shot, Max Alexander.
Phil, you spoke that one into existence. McDowell's failures have been made up by Alexander, and that probably goes to show just McDowell has not been on the court as much. Max Alexander has really led the team in his time off the court, and that's exactly why you've seen Alexander really be more integrated into this offense today.
Certainly.
Neal to Williams in the corner. That one's no good. That one looked like it was tipped by Phillips, so it'll stay on this side of the court.
That's the second time in a row it's been tipped out of bounds by a Rangers player. Clearly some frustration from the Rangers coach on that.
Substitution for Northwestern coming in for them. Number 5, Diran Bihire. And that'll be a turnover for Ouachita. Northwestern will take back possession. They trail by 14. Here's the matchup of the day right now. McDowell on Grayson. Alexander, he pulls up from inside the three-point arc, and that one is all laces. Phil, I don't even think I saw that go through the net.
No, I think it just went into the air, and all of a sudden, it was a point.
Grayson to Williams. Williams driving. He was looking for that cross-court connection to Neal, but in the process, he's fouled. Substitution for Ouachita, in for P.J. Neal is Gavin Snyder. Then coming in for Sean Williams is M.J. Leslie. Reggie Martin, top of the key. Hobart Grayson, he's guarded by Canty. And Grayson can't get that one to go. Battle for it inside, it goes to Grayson. Still can't finish it. Battle for it on the floor. Out of bounds. White ball. Ouachita maintains possession. And man, Phil, that was a battle for the ball on the inside.
Yeah, that's a clear demonstration of the hustle and grit and determination that this Tigers team demonstrates time and again. We talked a little bit about their rebounding struggles at the beginning of the season. They definitely are not struggling to rebound here today.
Snyder will take it out of bounds right where he did just a moment ago. Martin, he's got Leslie. Hobart Grayson, jumper. And that one's no good, but they say that Canty got a hand on him. The redshirt sophomore out of Eastern New Mexico was going to pick up the foul, and Grayson is going to head to the line once again today for free throws number 4 and 5.
You saw there Canty getting a little physical with Grayson, so Grayson decides, you know what, I'm going to show a little bit more of what I can do. Decides to pull up there. Well, he misses the shot. He manages to draw the foul, and honestly, I don't know why you'd go head-to-head with Grayson physically or mentally. I don't think I could. I think Grayson beats me every day and beats most players every day.
And the junior out of Holmes Community College has certainly made his impact on the floor this season. The second free throw is no good though, and here's Max Alexander hoping to do what he's done in this second half very well, which is shorten this Ouachita lead. McDowell looking to get around Martin. Handoff. And Bihire not aware of the shot clock there, and that's going to be a shot clock violation. And with that, that's our under 12 media timeout. 11:44 remaining in the contest. Ouachita's lead sits at 55-42. We'll be right back with you in just a moment here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network, presented by Taylor King Law.
I'm Sandra, this is Jorge, and we were adopted in 2019. I remember when they first came to us, Michael was already a teenager. The whole cliche of they're so lucky to have you guys, and it's the other way around. They have changed our family for the better. They chose to love us. They didn't have to. They chose us. Family.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. You can't imagine the reward. Visit adoptuskids.org.
Whether you realize it or not, you see the work of Bats and Signs all around Arkadelphia. When you see the Badger equipment trailer on the way to a Badger game, Bats and Signs did that. When you're watching the Badgers, Tigers, or Reddies and see the signage that just really makes their facilities pop, Bats and Signs did that too. You see the signage in downtown Arkadelphia, on the campuses of Ouachita and Henderson, or the sign in your neighbor's yard supporting a candidate or their favorite Badger? Yep, Bats and Sign did that too. Longtime residents and supporters of all things Arkadelphia called Mark, Jared, Chris, or Ryan at Bats and Signs today to see what they can do for you.
Following the U12 media timeout, Ouachita still leads by 13 with 11:44 left in the game. Here's Gavin Snyder with the ball. Leslie with the three, and MJ Leslie, he's going to take three.
Leslie walking away. No sweat off his brow from that. He's just a chill guy.
MJ Leslie has been in a bit of a shooting slump this season, so very encouraging for him to see something go through the net from behind the arc. And Bihire is going to draw the foul. The transfer from Division I Western Illinois has only played 2 games in a Northwestern uniform this season. This is game number 3 for him. A mid-season transfer for the Rangers, very reminiscent of a player such as Memphis's Naquan Tomlin last season.
Deep pull.
Tomlin tearing it up in the G League now, but Bihire goes 1 for 2 at the line.
Isaac, I forget you cover mid-major sports extensively.
And the Memphis Tigers sure are one of those mid-majors. As Gavin Snyder on the left side. Reggie Martin, guarded by Alexander, looking for something, and I don't know how he got that one to go. Reggie Martin, though, he's got himself 12 tonight. Excuse me, give him 15. Max Alexander, and he gets the layup to go.
It seems every single time the Rangers go down the court, you can count on Max Alexander getting the ball. And if anyone's going to make anything happen, it'll be him.
Alexander is perfect from the field in the second half. Grayson's layup is no good. Reggie Martin was looking for it there, but nevertheless, here's Alexander. Why take the ball out of his hands now? Well, Gavin Snyder thought he would, but they're going to call a foul as Alexander draws it.
It's interesting to see the matchup that they've chosen here, Alexander versus Snyder. And we've talked all night about Snyder being somewhat of an undersized player, and folks, by no means do we mean that as an insult. It's honestly quite a compliment because despite his stature, Snyder is one of the best defensive players on the court for the Tigers, and he has shown it time and again tonight. It's the reason he is facing up against McDowell here.
Well, you see Snyder just holding down the top of that zone so skillfully. And right there, obviously, McDowell able to get around him, but just been a strong player on the defensive end. Snyder, though, on the offensive end. And that's going to be a blocking foul on Max Alexander. Snyder draws it, and that'll be Alexander's third foul of the game, and not a great time to do that. Still a good amount of time to play, and Alexander only has 2 more fouls to give.
Yeah, they do not want to lose that guy tonight. He has really been the difference maker for the Rangers. If they lose him, they might lose any shred of hope they have left in coming back in this one.
Snyder, that's no good from deep, rebounded by Martin. MJ Leslie thought about it for a second. Instead, he's going to drive and draw the foul.
Good choice there by Martin. He manages to get the offensive rebound, and he sees, you know, there are 9 minutes left on the clock, but there's no need in rushing a shot there. He's going to bring it back out, and they'll have 20 more seconds on the clock.
Leslie double teamed in the corner, able to get out of it. Franklin. The floater is good over Bihere.
Despite coming off the bench here tonight, Franklin still 16 points, managing, or 16 minutes, my apologies, managing to make sizable impact on the field today.
And Clark, no good, but he's going to draw the foul, and Deron Clark is going to get his first chance at the line this evening.
Bit of a late whistle there by the referee. I wonder if he was contemplating whether or not that was a foul. Clearly he gave the call, though.
Clark, it rattles in for him on the first one, and tonight not really much production from Deron Clark. He's 0 for 3 from the field. All 3 of those shots have come from behind the arc, and he's got 2 rebounds to boot, but he's going to put himself on the board with those 2 made free throws with just under 8:40 left in this outing.
Both teams managing to shoot fairly well in the last few shots.
Hobart Grayson, what a putback. Put it down on his head. Excuse me, Phil, sorry about that.
I would have interrupted me too. That was amazing. And as I was saying, both teams are kind of on fire right now. Hobart Grayson demonstrating that right there beautifully.
And Bihere, nice response, silencing the few fans in the arena tonight.
What fans aren't in the arena, though, I'm hoping are at home watching this broadcast.
And if you are one of those fans watching tonight because of the snow, I want to thank you for tuning in to this broadcast as Ouachita hopes to go 3 in a row. But nice 3 by McDowell, and that really takes the cap off for him. It's been a while since he's made a 3, but that could be a spark for him. Hobart Grayson unable to get that one to go. He'll go to the line for 2.
And that was truly beautiful ball movement. We've talked about it all game. The Tigers have been able to move the ball around truly amazingly, but right there you saw just automatic play, taps from each player, and it really, really goes to show there just how impressive this team is.
And before those 2 free throws, we're going to take a bit of a break. So we'll see you right back here in just a moment here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
Mom was always very self-sufficient, but we started noticing things were off.
I was forgetting my responsibilities at work.
I told Mom we should visit a doctor.
Alzheimer's. It was hard to hear that.
Early detection gave us time to seek information and support as a family. I've never felt more connected with Mom.
If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
And there, once again, there's an update on the snow right outside of Bill Vining Arena. No shortage of falling there as the ground just continues to be covered. And here right now, what you're seeing on the court, very different from what you're seeing outside. Earlier I could have said that the shooting was just like the temperature outside, but now the game's starting to heat up. It's Ouachita with 64 points. Meanwhile, Northwestern inching back into this one with 54. That 10-point deficit is the shortest we've seen since the first half.
You could argue that the shots have been falling just like the snow outside.
Exactly. Snow continues to fall, and Hobart Grayson hoping to get 2 shots to fall here as he steps up to the line.
Complete silence in the arena as everyone's in anticipation.
And that one no good off the back rim for Grayson. Tonight, he's shot an even 50% from the line, 3 for 6, hoping to make it 4 for 7 with a make here. And he cannot do it, goes 0 for 2 from the line. Northwestern now an opportunity to make this a single-digit deficit for the first time since the first half. McDowell, he's guarded by Williams.
We see the 2 matchups on the floor here, McDowell and Williams, and Alexander and Grayson. Those are the matchups everyone wants to see here tonight.
And McDowell, that one's no good. He made that 1-3 before the timeout and thought he could get a second one. Unfortunately, that's a little long for him. PJ Neal to Leslie. Shot clock ticking down. Sean Williams driving, no good, but he's got 2 shots at the line.
What originally was quite a few free throws for Northwestern Oklahoma State has now turned into the Tigers being able to take more free throws than them. Northwestern Oklahoma State only taking 17 now. In comparison, Tigers are taking 15 and 17 here now.
Sean Williams with a make here will put himself into double digits in the scoring column today, and he does just that. Williams, a beacon of efficiency everywhere around the court, just as we talked about earlier, Phil. And Williams, the lone graduate player on this lineup, hails from St. Louis, Missouri. And you've seen his family in the crowd many times. Not here tonight, but just 2 parents that have been very supportive with him over the season. And Alexander just takes it coast to coast. Max Alexander knows that if a comeback is going to happen for his team, it's going to be through him. In this quarter, in this half alone, Max Alexander has scored 15 points after only a 6-point effort in that first half.
Right, Max Alexander has willed his team back into somewhat contention here. They're down by 12 now. He's at least kept the lead from growing any larger for the Tigers. And if this team gets back into it, it'll be thanks to him.
Alexander shooting the free throw with a left hand that time. The more and more I watch Max Alexander, the more and more I see Jalen Brunson. He's left-handed, plays off 2 feet very well, quick, efficient player that can also shoot the 3. Just reminds me of the Villanova guard very frequently. Here's Grayson, and Hobart Grayson, give him 2 more, and he's got 20 points and 12 rebounds. That's just an average day at the office for the 6'6" forward out of Gonzales, Louisiana.
You know, we talked about player comparisons, and we were trying to find one for Grayson. We just couldn't. I mean, he rebounds and he plays in the paint like Charles Barkley. He's 6'6", but you know he can shoot from outside too. He just has some of the best attributes of so many great bigs in the league.
I would liken him to a player like Bam Adebayo, but Hobart Grayson's got himself a little bit more of a jump shot to go with it. So Hobart Grayson, just a great player on all sides of the court, and only a junior, so still a future in college basketball if he wants it next season.
Absolutely, you know, we'd love to have him back here in Arkadelphia. He has demonstrated just how amazing he is, and we would be very lucky as a team to get him back for another year.
Tigers lead by 11 here. PJ Neal, the drive, picked up by Shibengu. And Max Alexander, active hands, is going to stop the entry pass from Sean Williams into Grayson. And really at that point, Max Alexander knows the objective. You can't let Hobart Grayson get the ball in those back down situations because he usually has been able to do something with it.
Absolutely, and Alexander figuring that out quicker than most teams do. Hobart Grayson only, quote unquote, only having 20 points this game. It's lower than his season average, but still considerably higher than most.
Neal's three is good. Alexander looking for something. McDowell guarded by Franklin. He loses it. Somehow keeps it alive. Clark with the open three, and that one rattles out. And multiple opportunities at the rim, but Northwestern begrudgingly just cannot get anything to fall.
And you saw the anger from Coach Robbie Harmon earlier. In contrast now, he's just staring in disbelief.
McDowell there swats the Franklin shot on the inside. Here's Alexander. The long pass to McDowell. Alexander, the floater, and the foul. Max Alexander, just a great find by McDowell, and then Alexander on that right side is able to get the floater to go and the contact.
And that will be the fourth foul for Sean Williams here tonight. With 4 minutes left in the game, he only has one more left to give. And only a 9-point lead now. He may need to calm down a little bit here in the end.
As Williams heads to the bench, Gavin Snyder will replace him in the lineup. Alexander knocks down that free throw, and that's the shortest, this is the smallest lead for Ouachita that we've seen since the first half. They only lead by 8 now. Sean Williams, he's got the ball. Cross court to Martin. Reggie Martin into Grayson, and Grayson is going to draw the blocking foul. That's enough to send him to the line. Hobart Grayson, while he has not had too much of a productive day from the line, he sure has gotten himself there. He's 3 for 7 from the stripe today, but that definitely has not taken away from his 20-point outing tonight. Give him one more on that free throw as it rattles in. He's got one more from the charity stripe, and Hobart Grayson 8 for 15 from the field. Phil, you continue to see him as a catalyst for this Ouachita win streak and hoping to gain another one here.
Absolutely. It seems like, you know, since we went home for break as students, the Tigers just never went to rest. They worked harder and harder over this break, and it's showed every game. They have managed to work up quite a win streak here.
McDowell, he's guarded by Williams, cross court. Here's Bihare. No good. Hobart Grayson in the middle of the air to grab it. He's just going to chuck it down court. And Sean Williams, he's going to grab the pass and see no defenders in front of him. He says, okay, I'll flush it home. And Max Alexander, though, with the response, can't get it to go. He'll have 2 shots from the line. But before that, we'll have a bit of a break. 3.5 minutes to go in this half. And there you see Hobart Grayson, and as we send it to a break, Sean Williams' dunk. We'll see you right back on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
At Berry and Turnage, we specialize in bringing the law to your corner. We are dedicated to understanding what results you want and to helping you understand what actions we can take on your behalf. With over 30 years of experience and a proven track record of success, Berry and Turnage is here to lead you down a path to the results you need. We will work with you every step of the way to make sure that you understand the choices you are making and feel empowered to make them. Berry and Turnage. Serious injuries require serious attorneys.
And welcome back to the Ouachita Sports Digital Network. And right now on your screen, right behind the referee, you see a trio of Babs, something that very elusive to see in the wild right now, only missing 2 from the entire family, but nevertheless, Max Alexander will be squaring up from the line for 2.
I think more impressive to me, you get to see the smallest of the Babb clan, Cooper Babb, managing a camera there. Think he might be taking up the family business someday.
Alexander goes 1 for 2 at the stripe. Ouachita's lead sits at 11. And Hobart Grayson, he's got the ball. PJ Neal looking to get around Clark. Hand off to Grayson. Grayson gets inside and draws the foul. Cameron McDowell will be the one giving it, and that'll be his 4th of the game.
You'll notice Sean Williams no longer on the court. At the end of, right before that media timeout last, he acquired his 5th foul, which means he will be watching the rest of this game from the bench.
Grayson makes the first free throw. And that second one is no good. And now Northwestern, they trail by 12. If they want to make a run to win this game, they've got to do it now. Alexander squares up for 3 and finds the bottom of the net.
And as you said, if they want to make a run for this game, it's going to go through him.
Gavin Snyder, he's got the ball. While Sean Williams is off the court, Snyder has had himself some pretty good games recently, and while not Sean Williams in the scoring category, Snyder can run an offense just as well.
Truly impressive play there from Grayson. He gets the rebound and manages to go back up with it. See a sneaky 14 rebounds here today from Grayson.
That's 3 above his average on the season. He averages 11.7 rebounds per game, and Hobart Grayson already top in Division II in rebounds per game, now continuing to go above that mark.
And I find it important to say it's his 5th offensive rebound of tonight, and he actually got his own rebound there. I was pretty sure it was his layup, but misses the layup, gets his own rebound, and it's his 5th offensive one of the night.
Alexander, and he just stepped on the baseline there, and Max Alexander is going to turn it over. And Phil, if you look at a guy like Max Alexander, obviously the burden of what he's had to do in this half has definitely been large. Max Alexander is really taking on the scoring load. 31 points tonight. Just an absolute, absolute monster of a game. And some contact up in the air as Clark collides with Martin. And now there's some discussion to maybe upgrade that common foul.
Happy to see Reggie Martin on his feet after that. That was a little scary to see.
That contact almost looked like it hurt Deron Clark more than Martin.
You saw both players fall to the ground.
And now you see the referees heading to the monitor, looking to see if they want to upgrade this foul. Just a reminder on how this works. They can either upgrade this common foul to a flagrant 1 or possibly a flagrant 2. In the instance of a flagrant foul, Ouachita will get 2 free throws and the ball back. And possibly, if it even is upgraded to that point, Clark could possibly be ejected as well. You see the contact in midair. What the referees are looking for is to see if the play is on the basketball or if it is blatantly towards the body. And that will be a flagrant foul. Flagrant 1 on Deron Clark. Reggie Martin will get 2 shots from the stripe, and then Ouachita will maintain possession. A costly blow to Northwestern, a team that very much wanted to try to get back into this game.
And while a very costly blow to Northwestern, we, of course, are very appreciative of the equipment that we have here tonight. I think this is the first time I've seen 3 different replays in one night shown on our monitors. Definitely a big testament to Chris Babb and his program here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network.
Martin goes 1 for 2 at the line there. And now Ouachita will take it under the basket. 2:10 remaining in this one, 20 seconds left on the shot clock. So the Tigers will have plenty of time to set up any offense. And Clark is going to be whistled for the foul. That's 2 fouls in short succession for Deron Clark. And that'll be his that'll be his 4th if you count that technical.
And clear frustration from every player on this Northwestern Oklahoma team. You see the referees not happy with the way that they're playing here, calling fouls, and you wonder if that frustration leads to more fouls.
And Franklin knocks them both down, and this Ouachita lead is the biggest it's been. Max Alexander, he's been the man of the night. 12 for 15 from the field. Cameron McDowell squares up for 3. No good. Clark with the rebound. And a bit of a change of pace from recent events. Clark will be the one to get fouled here.
Clark will go up into the bleachers, well behind Carter and Millie Babb.
Now going to the line, Deron Clark, redshirt senior, transfer from Mid-American Christian. First one is good. Deron Clark 0 for 5 from the field tonight. His only 2 points have come on free throws, but that one right there was his 3rd of the night. And give him 4. 4 for 4 from the stripe.
We see the Rangers not giving up hope here. Despite a 12-point deficit just under 2 minutes, they're going with a full court press.
Tigers looking to slow it down though. A score here would pretty much spell any end to a Northwestern comeback as Hobart Grayson, that one clangs off the left side, but Reggie Martin with the follow. And Coach Dennis Nutt calls a timeout there. That'll be a full timeout. So with 1:22 left, we'll take one more break before the end of this game here on the Ouachita Sports Digital Network, presented by Taylor King Law.
At Capital Technology Group, we make your technology our priority. There are so many threats to IT these days, and we're here to help protect your data and devices. We're also by your side when things simply go wrong, whether it's servers crashing or printers breaking. We cover it all for our clients in all types of businesses. And with over 80 years of history in Arkansas, you can trust Capital Technology Group to be your business technology partner. Sign up for a free consultation at captg.com.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
One minute, 22 seconds left in the game here at Bill Vining Arena, and Ouachita has done all but win this one so far as they lead 80-66. Northwestern Oklahoma State's Max Alexander has made an impact in this one, continues to do so. That's 33 for the redshirt sophomore. But as the time ticks down, Ouachita just needs to maintain possession and take care of the ball.
See a bit of a struggle there for them to get it past half court. The Rangers are not giving up until the last whistle is called here tonight.
Grayson, he's going to pull up from deep. And that'll be a hold from Clark. If this were a closer game, Phil, I'd be sure that the referees might look for a hook and hold there, but nevertheless, Franklin's just going to take the common foul and go to the line for two.
Yeah, I think at this point the referees, just like the players, are trying to keep things simple.
Especially with the snow falling. For anyone who may be traveling tonight or has traveled at some point, make sure to stay safe on the roads, especially with the snow continuing to fall outside of the arena and all around Arkansas. Second one is no good for Franklin. Clock ticks below 40 seconds now. Max Alexander, long three, and that one rattles in and out. That almost gave him 36 for the night. Just an absolute masterclass of a performance for Alexander. He just wishes that the rest of his team would have followed suit.
And it looks like the players are going to finally lay off a little bit as Hobart Grayson will wear down some of this clock here.
And Cam McDowell on the steal, and he's just going to lay it up and in, and that will be the final score of the game. Ouachita takes another conference win at home. The final score of this one, 81-70. Another great performance for junior Hobart Grayson, scoring 25 and 14 for his team at home. And now Ouachita once again improves on what has been an already impressive season. They're now finally back in the win column in GAC play. They're sitting at 4-3 on the season, now 9-4 on overall in their season. Meanwhile, Northwestern drops to 3-4 on the season in conference play and 6-7 overall. In just a moment, we'll be joined by head coach Dennis Nutt to review the game and talk about what he's seen from his players. But Phil, before that, talk a little bit about what we've seen from this team in what has been an impressive win streak so far since we really left for break.
Well, we talk about Hobart Grayson quite a bit, and I think he deserves every single bit we talk about him. He has truly been a stellar player for this team. And we talk a lot about Sean Williams as well. And I think someone who maybe sometimes does not get the love he deserves, but definitely needs it, is Reggie Martin. Reggie Martin has been instrumental this entire win streak. You know, this last game he had 16 points. He was the second highest scorer. This game he had 18 points and was the second highest scorer. Reggie Martin. Without Reggie Martin, I would even venture to say that this team would not be doing nearly as well as it is. And he is clearly an instrumental part of every part of this process. And he's been shooting 61% from the field for the entirety of this play.
And, you know, I've got my stat sheet right here. And one thing that you see from this team, and one thing that you start to notice with this Ouachita squad, is the more assists that they've racked up in each game has really what has been the catalyst that has led to these wins. Ouachita racking up 14 assists tonight, led by an effort from both Reggie Martin and Sean Williams, both of them getting 4 apiece. This team's a team that not just can make shots, but they can also pass the ball to make open shots by their ball movement and just their speed. So now, in just a quick second, you see head coach Dennis Nutt heading on over here to talk about this one. But just an all-around great night for Ouachita basketball, going 2-0 in this doubleheader. And now welcoming Coach Nutt. Great to have you, Coach Nutt, and congrats on the win.
I appreciate it very much. Thank you.
And, Coach, I want to go ahead and get this out of the way because I feel like, you know, everyone's going to ask you about him first when you look at this stat sheet and when you've looked at this season. Just talk about what Hobart means to your team and just how well his play this season and how much of that has improved your winning streak.
Well, I'll tell you, he's a handful. He's a very good player. He's does a lot of good things for us, and he didn't play his best tonight. You know, obviously missed a lot of free throws he normally hits, but you know, he's such a force in there, getting rebounds, 14 rebounds. I mean, that's impressive. But you know, our other guys were helped out, and we got a good team going. We're getting better. Got another game at home, and we just got to make sure we take care of it.
And, Coach, one thing that Phil and I both talked to you about at the very beginning of the season, one problem that we saw in those first couple games was just who was going to pick up the rebounds.
Yeah.
And what we've seen as developing throughout this season has just been you guys finding those rebounders and then also just people becoming rebounders on your team. So just talk about how that has really been a big part of why you guys are really on this big win streak now.
Yeah, I think our defense has gotten better. For some reason, we're not good in the second half on our defense. Had a very good first half, 33%. We held them to second half. We let our guard down, and we let them make some easy shots there in the paint. You know, we got to put two halves together. Again, we're building. We're trying to get better. Hopefully in March we're playing our best. But the guys are they're buying in. I think they're understanding winning now and what it takes to win. And if everyone chips in, does their little part, and play their role, you know, we have a chance to be a good team.
And then I kind of want to go into some of your perimeter defenders. First, I want to talk about Gavin Snyder.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not one of the taller players on the court, but you saw him one-on-one defending guys like Cameron McDowell tonight and really succeeding. So just talk about what his strength in both the post and on the perimeter has meant to your defense.
Well, Gavin's a tough kid, number one. You know, he's one-on-one defensively, he's really good. He's really good. We bailed a few out right at the end of the defensive play there, but for the most part, Gavin does a great job. He and also PJ. I think PJ is another outstanding defender, and we got several that can really lock down some guys. We just get a little sloppy. I think some of our mechanics a little bit bad there at the end of the plays, and you know we're learning again. It's a work in progress. You just got to keep building, and but Gavin, you're right. Gavin does a lot for us, and really helps us on that defensive end.
And Coach, finally, you've got a quick turnaround, just one day of rest, and then you've got Southwestern coming to town on Saturday. So what are you guys going to look for in that matchup against a good Southwestern team?
Well, you're right. It's a quick turnaround, and that's kind of what our league is. It's Thursday, Saturday, so you have to get ready to bounce back. You only have one day of prep, so it's a little bit different, but it's same for them. You know, they just played Henderson tonight, so we both had to get ready. We have to do a good job being prepared for them. They got some guys back from last year. We kind of know a little bit about them, but we'll get to work on that tonight, and we'll do our scout tomorrow and do a little walkthrough and practice and get ready to go Saturday.
Coach Nutt, thank you once again for sitting down with us after every game, and congratulations on the win.
All right. Appreciate it, guys.
Yes, sir. And for those watching at home, be safe throughout all the snow. Thank you so much for tuning in to another broadcast. Make sure to tune in on Saturday for another doubleheader against Southwestern Oklahoma State. But for now, this has been Isaac Bourne. That was Coach Dennis Nutt, and earlier my color commentator was Phil Bird. Good evening, good night, and this has been Isaac Bourne signing out.
I'm Nicole Auerbach.
Kevin Kugler of Westwood One.
Hi, everybody. It's Pete Pranica of the Memphis Grizzlies and Fox Sports Southeast.
This is Danielle Musselman.
This is Kyle Peterson with ESPN. This is Tom Hart of ESPN and the SEC Network. Thanks for tuning in to the Washington Sports Digital Network.